Hello everyone. This is Listening Lotus coming back to you with another reading. Thank you guys so much for all your likes, shares, comments, and support. I'm just super duper grateful. Like I said, as I am building this channel brick by brick, I'm very appreciative for all the love and support. So we are really just gonna just jump right in and go from there. So let's see. Again, I hope everybody is doing well out there, taking good care of yourself as much as possible, and still staying hydrated. That has been the number one thing that I have that has been coming across my mind lately. To just like tell people to like drink your water, stay hydrated, take your baths, get near water. Okay, first card we have. I fixed my lighting, so hopefully it's better. We have resilience. It says maintain eye contact with others to regain your confidence, regardless of the effort it took to restore your self-respect. Well, make sure y'all can see it. Okay, cool. I think y'all can. All right, let's keep going. See what's going on out here. And then next we have is right. Oh, okay. This is probably better. Okay. Right says, writing is a great way to express yourself and sort out your thoughts. Please keep a journal to help you with reflection. Okay. All right, let's keep going. I want to get the full story. I want the storyline. Okay, cool. All right. Facts. Facts says, focus on verifiable and factual information. Facts are inherently truthful. So far what I'm seeing is dotting your I's and crossing your T's. Not really, you're not necessarily in an emotional state right now, and you're doing the necessary things that are required of you to do the inner work within yourself, but also regaining or maintaining your confidence. It says regain your confidence in the card as far as resilience, but for some people out there, I feel like it's just staying consistent with the level of confidence that you've already set for yourself and doing the necessary steps by whether, it's with the writing and journaling and really rationalizing and hashing out what are the straight facts about whatever this situation or scenario that you could be going through, whether if it's with another person or it's just some things that you're trying to sort out amongst yourself, things that you have going on. Well, let's see what else is going on here. Okay, because if there's nothing else, that's cool too. Okay, that's it on that. All right, so I hate when it's got the little light glare. I'll try to keep it up here. Bear with me for a second. It's really it's not only just standing alone, but standing alone for the things that you know are right and what are factual for you, regardless of what outside noise or the world or people or places or things might have going on around you. But with the resilience card coming out and how she's standing on business, right? He or she, fill in the blank far as gender, right? But demanding your respect at this point. demanding your respect and doing it in a way where you're only looking at the facts at the end of the day. When it comes to your emotions, I feel like your emotions is what you're writing out. You're journaling and you're writing out your emotions. And that's the way where you're still expressing that side of you, but you're not spilling it over into other endeavors that could possibly make whatever the situation or whatever the, even if it's an internal conflict, on the outside, you're coming off very poised and just people are going to respect you. You're going to stand on business. Basically, you're only looking at the facts of the information and simply speaking your truth. Anything outside of that, you're just simply going within. This is more of like a hermit mode situation. And you're expressing yourself through writing or poetry or whatever creative expression regarding using your hands and channeling the energy that way. And it's so beautiful to see because somebody has took a really long time and they've been very patient with themselves for the resilience card to come out, where now not only have you set a certain bar for not only just yourself, but you're maintaining that, and you're maintaining it for not only just yourself but the people that are around you. And anything outside of that that you are still inherently working on, you're going within, but you're also making sure that you're expressing it in a very positive way with this right card. And it's really honestly it's giving facts over feelings, but not negating your feelings to the point where you're just setting yourself up for a blow up or something. You're not going to allow yourself to combust, if you will. Like you're going to make sure that you're getting it out one way or another, as far as how you may be feeling about a certain thing. But at the end of the day, you're going to look at the facts. And every last one of these cards is like they're outside. So definitely getting outside and getting outdoors, getting some fresh air, going for a walk and stuff like that can also help you stay calm. Because in this resilience card, I don't know necessarily what this lady is going through because you can kind of see in her eyes and stuff like she's not happy, she's not sad, which you can't really tell any other cards either, right? They're not stoic in a sense, but with this one specifically, it's like you can tell like she done been through some shit, and it's like she has demanded like with when all else fails, I'm not going no lower than this bar that I've already worked so hard to get to, and I'm going to continue on this path. And the best way for me to do that is when it comes to my actual emotions. This is what I need to do. I need to write them out. I need to journal them out in order to express them. Any type of internal work. That's where we're at with it. But on the outside, we're going to make sure that we look at the facts of whatever said scenario, fill in the blank. So this is good. Okay. Real straight to the point. I'm going to pull from my faves. Let's see what else we have out here. I feel like I'm moving the cloth. I didn't staple it down this time, y'all. So bear with me. All right. Let's see what they want. What else? What other messages? Okay. All right. The Garland card, 24. There is magic in the weaving of unity. Okay. Well, as y'all know, when it comes to these cards, I always read them. Oh, I don't like the glare. Okay, we'll put it down here then. Boop, 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 and bam. There we go. All right. Give me 2 seconds, y'all. 2 measly seconds. So we can allow this to come full circle. Okay. Okay. We have 24. Says weaving layers of magic and unity. The most beautiful summers. The most beautiful summer garlands are usually those with layers of various flowers, herbs, and grasses, all coming together in a harmonious way. The garland card asks the same thing of you, to bring together different layers of magic and unite them in one cohesive pattern. That can mean gathering together various people who each bring a unique skill or perspective to a collaborative project, or it could be assigned to establish a blended family in which everyone feels supported and loved regardless of their origins. It can also mean weaving together years of personal experience in a way that contributes toward the pursuit of a goal, or even just gathering a group of friends for some downtime and a night of laughs. However, this card applies to you, know that many are much more, sorry, however, this card applies to you, know that the many are much more effective than the few, bringing more color and interest to an otherwise flat or bland affair. As a final note, for those seeking relationship or opportunities, receiving this card is confirmation that you will seek, that what you seek, will be facilitated by a friend or a loved one. So, really, when it comes to this resilience card, like I said, fill in the blanks. Only you know what you're going through personally, right? But when it comes to anything that you are trying to work on, as far as manifestation or manifesting in period, as far as opportunities, you simply cannot do it by yourself. But when it comes to making the initial steps to realize, okay, I need others and let me figure out how I can work this out, you're going to have to put some of not even you're going to, putting your emotions in check will help out better for the scenario or the relationship or the dynamic, right? Um, Everything is not just all about you. Most of these cards, it could have just been like that person was being selfish. And in order for you to 24, which would break down to 6, pretty much get on the other side of a rebirth, um, you're going to have to look more at the facts, looking more at what it is that you can provide. So even when it comes to this writing, it doesn't necessarily have to be, even though it says writing is a great way to express yourself, to sort out your thoughts. It doesn't necessarily have to be your emotions that you're writing down. It could just simply be writing out a game plan, like I said with the Garland card, where you're trying to figure out all the different ways that a certain plan or a partnership can work amongst you and the people that you have around you, and doing it in a way where you're not going any lower of what the bar that you already set with yourself, far as when you regained your confidence with this resilience card and you keep pushing through, but looking at the facts. So if you know that you need, for instance, right, in business, we know a tons of people that can do things far more well better than the next person. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in business, but just for the sake of the example, right? Okay, you know, an accountant is good with numbers, but you're good with being an entrepreneur, but you still need an accountant. So it's really getting your team together, getting jotting down the plan of how each person can be useful for this collectiveness that you're working on, whether if it's amongst family, friends, colleagues at work, whatever the actual thing is for you in your personal life, right? Because I don't know who I'm talking to, but it's really just jotting down and writing down the game plan as to not only what it is that you can give far as your effort, but looking at the facts of what each person can provide and how everybody can come together and have with the Garland card for it to work properly, where nobody is reaching in their ego bag in a sense. This is a real calm energy across all these cards where it's like every last one of these people is like there's a different person in each one of these cards, right? But as you can see, this person may be doing more far as actively with their hands. This person could be a lot more analytical, right? This person could be more of um, like the negotiator, if you will. And this person could be more of the face or the front of the whole operation. But what it's really getting down to at the end of the day is moving in a way where everybody benefits, really moving community like and understanding that without unity you simply cannot there's only but so far you can go. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs some form of a union or partnerships, community, right? And trying to do everything by yourself can be extremely a lot much more harder than what it has to be. And that may be also something that when it comes to this person, they're looking at the facts of they may have already tried that route. They may have already tried that route of I've tried being all these different hats and it didn't work. I need to just pick one hat and find someone else who has other hats, who can fill in these other hats, sorry. That that's their strong suit, that's what they're better in. And everybody is working together for an ultimate goal at the end of the day, whatever the nucleus is that everybody can seem to agree and come to terms with, right? And understanding that the biggest of it is understanding that nobody's role is bigger than the next person. And most importantly, with this resilient card coming out, not only having the self respect for yourself with this card, but having the respect for the role that everybody else plays in whatever, like I said, the scenario is, fill in the blank. But every last one of them are understanding like they can't stand alone. They can stand alone in what they're good at, whatever that one niche is, but they're going to need other people to help them in order to really get some things done. So that was really good. I'm going to pull one more. And then we're going to go from there. We are going to go from there. Okay. All right. So this card says, always do your best. Stay in the present moment. I know y'all can see that. At least I hope so. Working on my lighting, y'all. Bear with me. But yeah, always do your best and stay in the present. It says, keep your attention on today and stay in the present moment. This is the new beginning of a new understanding, a new dream. Yep. So by that being the nucleus, and there's a lot of newness that is coming out, right? Oh, well, luckily I read it to y'all, but y'all can see the glare. I don't like that. Okay, hold on. I'll just put it over here. All right, boom. Sorry. Okay. Focusing more on, like I said, with this resilience card, that speaks a lot to what this was just saying. I'll reiterate. Keep your attention on today and stay in the present moment. This is the beginning of a new understanding and a new dream. So focusing on the new rather than the old, anything of the old that may even come up that makes you have that may have yourself, even questioning yourself or even in your emotions and maybe looking more in the past, right? Now is not the time for that. Simply, excuse me, write those things down so that you can be able to channel that energy in a sense and like purge that out and get that out so that you can continue to focus on what's ahead of you and really focusing on your future and the things that you want to see have happen. And really looking at the facts, really looking at the facts at the end of the day. People need people. So with this new understanding and this new dream, the biggest understanding that I'm seeing for whoever I'm speaking to, male or female, it doesn't really matter. Um, you definitely are not doing things as you once used to. The way you are today is simply not how you once were. And with the new version of you comes a level of newness that not only just you have to get used to, but the people around you do too. So, there's a lot of growth that's going on in these cards. A lot of growth. A lot of growth amongst unions, a lot of growth within the person itself that I'm speaking to. And with all that, is to just simply look, do your best. But most importantly, to stay as present as possible. Staying present will definitely help you with keeping yourself being resilience. Sorry. It will help yourself be resilient. That staying as present as possible. Because as much as we like to harper and look back at the past, it's the past for a reason. When you wake up tomorrow, that's going to be a totally whole nother new day, right? And staying as present as possible on one day at a time and putting your best foot forward every day, as long as you're doing your best. Um, Time and patience, it's bound to always it's bound to always bring results. Slow and steady really really can win the race. It's the little everyday steps of being present and being mindful and looking within yourself, checking your emotions, looking at the facts, looking at now and looking at your feelings too. Don't negate them, but to express them in a way that isn't going to affect everything that you're working so hard towards, because you're psyching your brain out by looking at the past. So staying as present as possible, but understanding that it's not just you that's going through these things too. It could be just simply your entire community that's around you. So giving everybody a little more grace while everybody's going through these new phases, but staying as present as possible. Staying as present as possible. I'm going to actually see one more thing, and then that will be that. Give me 1 second. Okay. Just for shits and giggles. Okay. All right. Wanted to make sure I wasn't tripping. Okay. So the chakra card that came out is the throat chakra. So a lot of this, when it comes to writing, it could also be writing and you simply just speaking up more, speaking out, And putting your best foot forward, staying as positive, most importantly, right? Making sure that the things that you are saying, that you're speaking from a place of love, you're coming from a heartfelt space, but you're also, if need be, you letting people know where you stand and where you stand firm as well with the facts card. So flipping over. It says loving expression from turquoise Amazonite. Amazonite. I know I'm butchering this word. Amazonite. That's what I'm gonna say. Y'all, work with me. It's a pretty blue though. I like that. It's like a turquoise blue. It says like a blue green. That's what it says up here in the corner. All right. Loving expression, physical qualities. It says it relaxes the nervous system, calming muscle spasms or overactivity in the brain, reduces pain and swelling related to gout, rheumatism, or arthritis, reduce inflammation and bronchial passages, alleviates skin irritation, treats calcium deficiencies and osteoporosis, supports thyroids, throat, and lung health. Emotional qualities, stimulates the throat chakra to facilitate easeful verbal expression, supports loving and kind expression, helps relieve stubbornness, brings mental and emotional flexibility, optimism, hope, inner peace, and tranquility, and also soothes emotional trauma. I think that is the biggest one, soothes emotional trauma, because whatever she's writing, she's writing out like inner child stuff. She's writing out current stuff. She been writing for a minute. This book, if you can see in the picture, this book is damn near almost about full with the way she's been writing. She's been going to town, really expressing herself and getting all that out, which is good. The best thing for you. The mantra they have at the bottom is I express myself with love and kindness. Again, it says, I express myself with love and kindness. And I like that so much because this loving expression, maybe in the past, whoever I'm speaking to, your words used to cut deep, or even though you were coming from more of a passionate or a sincere sense, you were still coming off very harsh, where a lot of the messages probably weren't as received as they should be. But not only that, coming with this card coming out and having more of a loving, expressive way to communicate with not only just yourself but the people around you, will also help for this community that you're working with the Garland card, because there's a community or a project or something that you are trying to work on and get off the ground. Or even if it's just in a partnership or a union, right? But whatever it is that you're working on or working towards. And not only that, I feel like this is more of the energy that you've always wanted to be to begin with. You wanted to be more of a loving, expressive person, but you've kind of been getting more of a rigid, hard, cold fact, straight to the point. No BS, no fluff. Don't get me wrong. And that's a good reputation to have, but you can still be respectful and come from a loving place and leave some of that rigidness in this journal. Leave it on the paper. Everybody don't need that. Leave it on the paper. So yeah, that is all that I have for you guys. I hope that everybody, again, is taking really good care of themselves. If you like this reading and looking for more, be more than welcome to subscribe. Again, thank you for all the likes, shares, comments, and subscribes this far. And until next time, in between time, I love you guys and take good care of yourself. Bye.